right, what's up, everyone? Welcome to Giant Sports Talk Live. Hopefully, you're all having a great freaking Wednesday night. We got a special guest. We got Booney from Locked on the A's.
What's up, Eric?
It's going, man. Hey, you guys want to know everything about the athletics, man? Booney will break it down to you. How many days a night, or a week, I should say, that you go? You go pretty often, don't you?
We're 5 days. Yeah, we're 5 days.
There you go. You don't mess around.
5 days, half hour, 40 minutes a day. We're, off season it gets a little tough, especially with the A's.
Ooh, yeah.
News isn't often for the A's. So.
I hear you, man. I hear you. But hey, you do a fantastic job. I know you're really getting after the A's and kind of the dynamic between Oakland and Sacramento and Las Vegas. Good stuff. And
that's a story on its own. That's for sure.
Exactly. But we're going to get into, we'll talk off season, trades and free agency. Today, the Giants had another move today for their coaching staff. Don't know where he's going to fit in to the quote unquote pitching staff. But Frank Anderson, another Tennessee Volunteer, has been hired by the Giants. No details again coming. I'm guessing that will come. Frank Anderson, Mr. Anderson, is now with the Giants. Hey, you know what? I've come to the conclusion the San Francisco Giants are becoming the San Francisco Vols. They are no longer the Giants. They are the Vols. That is three. I count them three different individuals that have come from University of Tennessee to come play for the Giants. But hey, we'll see what happens. Look, nothing we can do as fans. So we just could sit here and we talk about it. And hey, that's fun. It's fun to talk about that stuff. But let's not worry about that right now. Let's get into what's going to go on with our respective clubs. Glenn will be with us later, guys. He had a busy day on the radio. He had interviews all over the place. So right now he's on assignment.
Hope to see Glenn.
Yeah, I hope he pops. I know you want to see him. He's good stuff. Good stuff. But let's get into a little bit on the A's, man. I tell you what, the A's, your guys' lineup,
yeah,
man. You guys put runs. I mean, I think you guys are in the middle of the pack as far as runs scored. But let's get into this, because the one thing that was failing you, and you guys were like fourth in the league as far as allowing runs. So
yeah.
Again, it's the pitching, right? That's what it's going to come down to. Right now, what does it look like the rotation is going to be? Is there going to be a change to the rotation, or is it going to be the way that it was last year?
I think looks like it's going to be the way it is last year. When you look at the rotation right here, you're going to have Severino and Jeffrey Springs at the top of the rotation just because you're paying them. You're going to have Jacob Lopez, who had a shockingly really good year last year, who was part of the Jeffrey Springs trade. Luis Morales, the rookie that got brought up last year. He actually got some Rookie of the Year votes. And the fifth spot's kind of up for grabs.
You guys just signed somebody too, right?
As far as a starter,
it wasn't a starter. I think
we haven't signed anybody yet. No, we haven't signed a.
More of a depth guy or something.
We signed somebody from the, a journeyman. Who do we sign? A journeyman that it was whether he was going to make the squad or not. I don't think he's going to be threatening for a starting rotation job. Bullpen was great last year, and I tell A's fans and I tell myself at the same time, I'm cautiously optimistic, right? We had a great second half in 2024, one of the best records in July and August. And yeah, sure, last year got off to a decent start, started off 20-16, went through that stretch of losing 20 of 21. Last 2 months of the season, we were great.
Yeah, you guys were awesome out there.
It's different playing when you're 10 games back versus right in the hunt. So we'll see how we do when games count. Obviously, it's exciting right now to be an A's fan as far as the young talent we have. I don't think we're going to make much noise with regard to the free agent market, just because, you go out and the free agents the A's can afford, like, for example, like a Patrick Corbin at like $7 million a year. Because you got to also remember the A's have to pay like a 35-40% premium to get these free agents to sign to play in Sacramento. So, for example, like a Max Scherzer or Justin Verlander, we're going to have to pay like $13 million a year. I don't want to do that for those type of guys. I'd rather stay with who we have and the young guys that we have right now and so forth. And there's always trades on the possibility. But here's the thing, Eric, with trades, right? Mm-hmm. There's two parts that make a trade difficult. The first part is who are you going to give up, right? Everyone's talking about, like, for example, on the Giants side, Bryce Elder. Well, the second part is, let's say you score a guy like Hunter Green. Well, you have to re-sign Hunter Green to a whole lot of money.
Yes, correct.
There's two parts that make it hard. You're going to have to mortgage your future and then spend bank on that individual, so the trade's worth it. So,
and I tell you, it is. Trades are, look, it takes a level of risk. And I'll tell you something too. If there's one thing that we know about Buster Posey since he's been the president of baseball operations, he's willing to take risks. He went out there, he extended Chapman, he signed Willie Adames. No one saw that one coming. No. Traded for Devers. Who the hell saw that? Nobody.
What a trade.
I know, right? Right? And then in the offseason, what did you do? You wind up letting Bob Melvin walk. And what did you hired Tony Vitello, which is a huge risk, right?
I'd like the move.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, I don't think Buster Posey is out of wanting to make moves now. He's it's going to take cooperation from ownership, of course, right? But again, that's more free agency. Let's stick with trades. With Bryce Eldridge, if you do trade him, it's going to have to be for someone that's out of this world. Has to be, right? It has to be.
Yeah.
So you're saying, you're mortgaging your future, as you say. Now, here's the thing. How many times do these prospects work out, right?
Right.
And that's the thing. That's a risk because you have the opportunity. The Giants during the trade deadline missed opportunities, being able to trade Rodon, being able to trade. I know a lot of people wanted Robbie Ray to be traded. Alex Cobb back in, what was it, 20? Was it in 24? I think it was in 24. Had a hell of a year, and then after the All-Star break, he fell apart. And it's like that guy could have been traded. I mean, there's times where you could have traded him again to build for your future because. When you do trade a prospect, you don't know what you're getting, but what you're getting in return is something. Now, the question is, do you have the financial wherewithal to sign that person, whether if he has no control or has control? Are you willing to extend them? Are you willing to do so? There's a lot. I think trades are a lot more tricky in that sense because is this guy going to make it? Or, am I trading away a future Hall of Famer, All-Star, whatever it may be, right? And it's,
to your point, Eric, you look at prospects, and exactly to your point with regard to prospects, you talk about Kyle Harrison 2.5 years ago. No Giants fan was ever thinking about even trading him. He was supposed to be the left-hander of the future.
Yes, he was.
You know what I mean? So
right.
Prospects are exactly what they are. Prospects. And if you have an opportunity to trade a prospect and get a proven Major League Baseball player, you do so.
You do.
So, I think you have to do that. And again, for as hyped up as Bryce is and what he can potentially do and the youngster he is, if you can get the right guy in return and re-sign that guy to a long-term deal, of course, you have to do it.
Yeah, right, exactly. But we don't know what to expect from it. That's the thing. He's still young. He's 21 years old. Maybe he has to spend he might not even be Major League ready. Yeah, the Giants brought him up, but guess what? When they brought him up, the Giants were done. They were out. So it's basically, all right, let's see how this guy handles the major leagues, and we'll go from there. It wasn't spectacular. Don't get me wrong. Look, we could sit here and say he had great at-bats. Yeah, he got into deep counts. But look, at the end of the day, did it really show much? No. But I'm not going to hold that against him. Let's see. Maybe he may have to start off in AAA again, just to get those reps and say, okay, now you're Major League ready.
There's no need to rush him.
And right. And it's not a blanket thing. One part of his game may be Major League ready, but the other part may not be. And only the organization can know that. And here, us as fans, we could sit there and throw it around all over the place. But ultimately, what we just want our team to be better. That's what it comes down to, right? One thing I've been saying over and over, Booney, is I cannot stand this 500 baseball, man. It seems that's where the Giants are just stuck and they just cannot get out of it.
Yeah.
And it's going to take some work.
What's been hurting the Giants, I think, is you can't have Matt Chapman batting 3-4-5 in your lineup. Matt Chapman is not a middle of the order guy on a championship team. He is a 6-7 hitter. And of course, hey, he's a platinum glove over at third, but he is what he is hitting wise. And if you're going to depend on him hitting 30 home runs and driving in 100, it's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
Have Devers and Adames you need one more piece. And the
You
rumors
do.
I've been hearing with regard to Kyle Tucker, I think would be a perfect piece for the Giants. I still do think they have a few holes out there that you could plug in. The thing about the Giants, they have their pieces they have are very, very good. But everybody else, Jung-Hoo Lee, what's he been doing? I thought, for example, when the Giants first signed him, I thought he was going to be an MVP at one point, and he hasn't been that guy. And Patrick Bailey has really regressed.
Yeah, as far as the bat, look, won his second Gold Glove. There's no debating. The guy can frame and he can throw out runners, right? Anyone watching Giants game, you guys see, he has issues receiving the ball at home. When there's plays at home plate, he has some issues. But is that something that could be worked on? Absolutely. Now, his bat, on the other hand, that is the thing. And you know what makes it even worse, Booney, is when you have the rest of the team that are kind of falling by the wayside, where you're striking out all over the place. There's no situational hitting. And then when his part in the lineup comes up, and then all of a sudden it's not that good. I mean, Booney, he was hitting under 200 for more than half the year. I mean, he finished the season, I think, what was it? 215, 220, somewhere around. But that was majority of this, and that's having a hot streak at the end of the year. So that has to be worked. That part of the game has to be worked on for Patrick Bailey. And I kept saying during the season last year, can we just have a guy that bats 230? Please? Just a guy. Just because it will do more for the Giants. And look, the Giants, the way they were pitching last year, they didn't have to do much. They just had to do a little bit more. Yeah,
good.
It was so good. And then, of course, they traded a lot of the pieces away. And that's another thing that the Giants are going to have to look at as far as, the bullpen. What is going to happen there? As far as trade, do you see the A's having any guys? See, the Giants really, the Giants, the big guy, of course, is Eldridge. We don't know what's going to happen. You got Elliot Ramos. I know that he's been talked about. His bat's fantastic. For what he did, he's batting almost 270, hits you 200 home runs, or 20 home runs. I'm sorry, 20 home runs. And then, he's okay. I'm okay with that. He's got some speed. His defense, though, whoo, man. But that should be something you can work on, I would think. Because the year prior, he didn't have these egregious routes to the ball, and his defense was just horrible last year.
The guy I want the A's to target and get, and I know a lot of A's fans, they're like, hey, no, we don't want him. He's not worth it. But at the same time, when you are a fan of the A's, you got to think in perspective. They're talking, hey, let's go get Hunter Green. And we're not going to get Hunter Green. We're not going to pay for him when his contract's up. We're not going to give up the pieces it requires to get a Hunter Green, because you would have to give up basically your core in order to get somebody like that.
Yeah.
The guy I want that I think is realistic that we need help in is Ke'Bryan Hayes from the Reds.
Ooh.
Yeah. And I think
the glove.
Yeah, he's a platinum glove. He's been struggling at the plate the last couple of years, but his contract's a good contract, right? And the thing with the A's, what's so important for the A's to trade is we don't have to pay that premium in free agency. Yes. For example, last year, Luis Severino was a 2-year, $35 million guy as far as in free agency. What the A's have to give him? We have to give him 3 years, $66 million, with the third year being a player option. I'm sure he's already opted into that player option. So, that's the thing. We have to considerably overpay. The A's have about 30 to 35 million they have to spend this year. I hope it goes to the young core. I like the contract the Red Sox gave Roman Anthony. They bought out his pre-ARB years. Out his ARB years, signed him through 2034. And I hope they do that with Soderstrom, with Jacob Wilson. The problem with Nick Kurtz and Shea Langoliers is he's represented by Scott Boras.
Oh, it ain't happening.
Yeah.
Forget about it, man. The dude, look, you love or hate him, Scott Boras, man, he does the best for his guys. And
right.
I tell you what.
That's going to be the tough part with regard to the A's, is we got to just kind of look. I hope we take care of who we have. And
that makes sense. Okay. Look, and you got young guys, and you could, and that's the thing. It's not like you guys are not necessarily in win now. And look, you always want your team to win. I'm not sure that one. I'm sure. But as far as when you're building your roster, you got a lot of youth. How old is Wilson?
23. He's going to be 23 next year. Same with Kurt.
Same with Kurt. Okay. See, so you could go ahead and extend them. And then in a year or two, right? Especially when, and I don't know what your payroll is going to look like when you guys go to Vegas. I'm guessing it's going to go up because, right? You would think, yeah, right?
Come on, man. Come on. Enough.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I mean, and look, and let's be honest. Would some people be more attracted going to play in Vegas than they do in Sacramento?
Oakland? Yeah, for sure.
Of
I mean,
course.
at the same time, the money spends. I think Vegas is going to be a revenue generator, no question about it. And I think win solves everything. But with this ownership
100%.
and how it's been since the day they bought it, it's always been profit first, dingers second. That's not going to change, right? It's not going to change. That will continue. But I do believe Vegas will be a place where you can profit. And there's only so many years you can get lucky with draft picks and them developing into something. I mean, back-to-back years, we went Jacob Wilson and Nick Kurtz, and they were, back-to-back in all-star voting. That doesn't happen often.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
They've gotten their opportunity. They've taken advantage of it. We have some more rookies coming up. We got a nice little farm system. And the most important part is they're getting their opportunity to play. Yeah.
And that's awesome. And look, and I think you guys are probably going out there scoring a lot of runs again. I mean, like I said, you guys are about in the middle of the pack as far as runs scored. Are you still concerned about the pitching though? I mean, that's going to be that's the formula. If you want to get deep into the season, deep into the playoffs, you got to have the pitching. And if you don't have the pitching, well, you could just say, forget about it, because it's just like, good pitching always beats good hitting. It's just, there's truth to that. I mean, look, right. I'm not sitting here acting like I freaking am a baseball god. I mean, that's been proven over and over. Good pitching always beats good hitting.
Yeah.
So, I mean, do you think I don't know where you would go as far as fortifying the rotation. You said you already got, was it Beto? Is it Beto? He's in
Beto, it's going to be right now. Severino and Springs are going to be your 1-2 because you're paying them. Jacob Lopez, who we got in a trade last year, who's been a shockingly good pitch, 27 consecutive scoreless innings last year, looked amazing, got hurt at the end of the year. He'll probably be our number 3. Our number 4 would be Luis Morales, who was a rookie last year. One of the top prospects we had. Glenn!
Hey, wait a second, Eric. I told you I was going to be running late. I was doing some interviews. And you're replacing me already?
Hey, you just made my night, man.
I'm just kidding.
It's all fun and games, man. Yeah, hey, Booney's been waiting to talk to you, Glenn.
Dude,
I'm so excited, man. It's like Christmas
every time you get this guy on as a guest, I have missed out on the show for one reason, and tonight I almost didn't make it. You know how busy Eric.
Yeah, I said it.
Inside scoop.
I said it.
Tell him who I was interviewing.
Who's that?
Brian Adams.
Brian Adams.
Is that right, huh?
Yeah, Brian Adams doing a show in Winnipeg tonight. And earlier, I had to interview Chris Murphy of Sloan and Ivan from the Men Without Hats. Do you remember that group? Any of those groups? You must know Brian Adams.
Yeah, you can dance if you want to.
Yeah, that's Ivan. That's the Men Without Hats. We can dance. We can dance. Anyway, what did I miss? I mean, the fun has begun.
Hey, Giants free agent talk. You guys are getting Kyle Tucker.
We're getting Kyle Tucker.
John, did you enlighten him? Giants suck. Come on.
There's Glenn. Yeah, you wanted Glenn. You got Glenn.
Jesus.
Hey, Glenn, Eric's been telling us how Patrick Bailey might win comeback player of the year next year.
That doesn't surprise me coming from that guy right there. See what I got to work with? You know him now. You know him. Anyway,
oh my God.
So what's happening up in Sacramento? What did I miss? I told Eric before, long before the show started. I told Eric, Jesus, we're going to have to do our homework because, to be honest, I'm not a big Sacramento guy. So enlighten me. What did I miss?
We're talking the rotation of the A's right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, right now what the A's are, I mean, we got a couple guys we're paying for. Severino, Springs. We got Jacob Lopez, who had a good mid to second half last year. Got Luis Morales, who got a few Rookie of the Year votes. We had 3 guys get Rookie of the Year votes, which was nice. And the 5th spot's up for grabs. Problem with the A's is anybody we try to get in free agency, we're going to have to pay a 30-35% premium. And do you really want to go out and get an Andrew Haney or a Patrick Corbin and pay a 1 year, $8 million deal, or a Max Scherzer or Justin Verlander and pay $14 million, which would it take to get there? And probably the only guys that would come to the A's, which I don't really think is as good as who we currently have. And we only have a certain amount we're going to spend, and we're not going to go over that. So right now, what I want for the A's to do this offseason is to, pay and extend for who we have, similar to the same type of contract the Red Sox gave Roman Anthony. Buy out the pre-arb years, buy out the arbitration years, extend them to 2034, and go from there. So that's what I'm hoping for the A's offseason. A's fans want to trade the farm for Hunter Green. The problem is there's two parts. I was telling Eric about trades. There's two parts that make a trade hard. Who you have to give up, and then re-signing the freaking monster to a long-term deal after that.
So it sounds like your channel is basically designed around ours. Eric, this is exactly what we deal with, isn't it? It really is. Truly. Everything he's just said in the last little soliloquy there has been exactly what we endure, Eric.
Yeah.
Well, the only thing is that the Giants are willing to open up the bank a little bit more than a
lot more.
Yeah.
A lot.
I will tell you, the little bit I saw of Sacramento on the tube last year, and you just touched on it. You guys have probably already expressed some talk on this, but boy, I have always said stop with plug-in gaps. I like the way, even if you can't keep them, I think the excitement level is there. Any games I saw Sacramento on the TV last year, especially in the Giants series.
Yeah.
I mean, Wilmer did have a couple of good games there.
How about the 3 home runs he hit? Jesus.
But they go young, and I know the whole situation with teams like Sacramento now. And before the show is over, I'm sure I'll call them Oakland. But Sacramento, Tampa, Miami, they groom them, they get them ready, and boom, they're gone. But I tell you, there's something to be said, something exciting about having young up-and-comers. And we saw that last year, didn't we, up there in Sacramento?
Absolutely. Yeah, no question about it. I mean, the young kids we have with regard to who we draft, and that's what's been exciting about the A's for the last quarter century is we've gone through this same type of cycle, right? We've drafted all these guys, first round picks. The big three were all drafted with the A's. Giambi, second round pick out of Fullerton. Everybody the A's have gotten. Matt Chapman was drafted first round pick. Matt Olson, everybody.
Matt Olson.
And you love these young kids. And then when it's time to extend, we don't have a prayer in hell to extend them, and then they're gone. Some of the moves worked out. A lot of them haven't, but, it's the same type of deal. And I'm scared as hell if the same thing's going to happen with Wilson and Kurtz. I'm hoping the Vegas thing will change thing, and we actually open up the pocket a little bit.
I like this guy. This guy's got a little bit of me in him. I can see already.
Holy cow. It's frustrating. You love it, and then at the same time, you just want to go nuts. So, yeah.
Now, here's the question. I want to ask something that the A's have been doing. You guys have been doing a phenomenal job in drafting, developing. Who is the go-to guy in the A's that's responsible? Remember when Sabian was running the Giants? You heard about Jim Barr and Dick Tidrow, of course, Ned Coletti. He had his trusted lieutenants that he could go to, and they knew who the hell they were getting. Look, we had Lincecum, Kane, Bumgarner, right? I mean, you had all these guys. Who is that guy? Is it an army of people that are helping the A's and being able to do this?
And if you got one, send them our way, because that's exactly what we need.
I think it's twofold, right? I think the first fold you're looking at is you got to remember the MLBPA back, I think the last when it expired in 2016, if somebody else signed one of your free agents, for example, when Giambi left, when Zito got signed by the Giants, those teams had to give us a first round pick, right? So not only do the A's have their own top 10 pick, they got somebody else's top 10 pick. And when you're getting top 10 pick every single year, you know what? By percentages, half of them are going to work out. It's just going to work out that way. So have they done a hell of a job drafting? Yes, but there's been a ton of draft picks that haven't worked out as well. But as in any sport, when you're drafting high, you're going to have some players.
Gotcha.
And, so yeah, have they done a good job? Sure. And and they've also taken advantage of every single rule as far as the competitive balance and Major League Baseball trying to make things even, so forth. So also they get a competitive round pick, balance pick as well, depending on where they are as far as revenue sharing. So baseball really tries to level the playing field with regard to the teams that aren't spending, aren't getting any money in. So it's twofold. They've come through in picks, but they've gotten every opportunity to pick the top guys as well.
Interesting. Interesting. Now, do you think the lottery makes it a little bit different now, considering that you can't tank really and get the, for example, the Baltimore Orioles and the Houston Astros, they were able to build some pretty good teams because to a certain extent, well, they sucked. Let's just say they sucked and they were able to get the first round pick. Now it's not guaranteed you get the first pick. Now, and here's the thing too, the draft, just like we talk about risks and all this other stuff, you don't know. You really, sometimes it's a surefire. King Griffey, Bryce Harper, guys like that. Okay, they're can't miss. But there's times where, hey, yeah, he's the first pick, but where did he do and where did he go? Casey Mize is a great example for recent history. We picked Bart number 2. Detroit picked Casey Mize. Is he at the level where you expect the number 1 pick in a draft? Not necessarily. It doesn't always work out. So what do you think? Do you think that lottery helps a little bit as far as just, hey, trying to level that playing field, as you said?
I think also the landscape of college baseball and college athletics in general has changed with name, image, and likeness, right? It used to be high school kids used to be coming out right out of high school, and you're developing them for a number of years. And then it was, okay, they play 1 or 2 years in college, then they come out. Well, now they're 3-4 years in, right? So instead you used to have a 19-year-old getting drafted. Now you have a 22-year-old who's practically ready, matured, and ready to go. So I think there's a lot more depth in baseball right now, as far as the draft goes and where they're being drafted. So I think that's part of it. And yeah, sure, as far as the lottery, of course, that all makes a difference.
Yeah, interesting. But yeah, let's pivot a little bit to the Giants. We've been doing this, talking about trades, talking about free agency, Giants, I think they're sitting at about 186. The question is, do the Giants want to go up to the CBT, 244? You exceed 244, you got to pay the tax. You stay below 244, you're good to go. Last year, the Giants, even though when they went and made that trade for Rafi Devers, they were still over. I know. And they are still $20 million under the CBT. So I don't know if that was a willingness to stay or it's like, hey, we don't want to spend that much. I don't know where the Giants are. Do they want to go up to 240 or are they just comfortable to be at 200? And look, I hate this. If you're an owner of an MLB team, you got to be willing to want to go out there and spend and win. You have to. And again, it's all determinant on where you are in your talent, right? If you got a bunch of homegrown guys, like for example, the A's, if the A's roster was on, say, the Yankees, well, guess what? You got all that money, and guess where it's going to be sunken? It's going to be sunken starting pitching, and then it would be an absolute juggernaut of a team. So
I think the Giants got to go out and spend. The prospects they have right now are extremely young. Good, talented. Young, 18, 19 years old, top 5 prospects. They got to go out and spend. I think right now they have the whole Bay Area market to themselves.
They do.
It's all for themselves. I think it's their time. I think they got to make the moves for Kyle Tucker. I think they got to. You guys worried about the starting pitching?
I am.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I am. They got to get another guy. They got to get another arm. They have to, and that's why I find the Tucker stuff is a little bit maybe, but. Who I don't know. Who knows? Maybe the Giants blow the locks off and say, the hell with it. I'm tired of seeing the Dodgers take it. Look, back-to-back World Series. How many times have they won the division? They've won it about 500 times in the last 499 years.
But part of the problem, Eric, he just brings up pitching, and you and I talked about it on the show, back-to-back shows, last 2. All the rumors now. And I got my ear to Toronto's, the Fan 590, and every day they're talking about, well, it's almost a done deal. Scherzer to the Giants. He's going to go to the Giants. Well, come on. Last year I was bitching about Verlander. I was bitching about Verlander, Booney.
You know what, Clint? I
about it
remember
before he
Actually, I
signed.
agreed with you
And
on Verlander.
before he signed, I came on every night, Eric, and I go get me Sagano. And they're like, oh my God, he's 45. He's 45 years old. And then they were okay. The chat was okay with a 42-year-old. That was okay. So now what do you think? We bring in Scherzer. Yeah, that's just what we need. Come on. We got to get real. You got to, Eric, if they're going to blow the locks off it, like you say, go out and give me talent. Go out and give me, like,
I agree.
Comers, man.
100%.
Get me up and coming. Give me ball players.
Yeah,
it's baseball.
I don't disagree.
It says. It's baseball.
It's baseball. 100%. And look, with the Scherzer, come on. Doesn't it seem like that's probably going to happen? I mean, I don't like
God,
I would rather,
you know what? I'd go nuts if he just like, come on.
I would rather have Verlander. But I don't think Verlander wants to stay, to be honest with you. He probably wants to go somewhere.
I mean, Verlander's not going to move the needle, though. That's the problem.
No, it's not.
Verlander's just good enough to get you beat.
No, yes.
Well, you know what? I was, and here's the honest to God truth. I was so anti-Verlander, but when you look back, Eric, at the number of games I sat up in the seats, didn't it seem, Eric, like every time I said, okay, I'll be 5-10 minutes late because I'll be walking back from and I Eric, I don't know if he told you, I'm only a block from Oracle, which is absolutely beautiful. About a block and 2 blocks.
Wow.
So I'm over there in like 5 minutes, I'm in my seat. And every night, Eric goes, oh, you going tomorrow night? Verlander's pitching. And I think Eric, when he came down to see the games, it was Verlander. But when you look back at his numbers, Eric, and Booney, I don't know if you followed them much during the season, but
they were good.
They were good. He was competitive. They just didn't get the job done for him.
Yeah.
He was competitive. As much as I hate to say, but he wasn't as bad as the numbers had indicated. I'm like, if we're going to go in another, you can't, like you use this term, like the law of averages, like the drafts, the law of averages, sooner or later. You can't keep going to the well with 40-year-old pitchers and expecting them to win you games. Yeah. It's just not going to happen.
You know what? Look, from the outside looking in, what was disappointing for me for the Giants side is the young guys didn't really blossom like they should have. Like, for example, Luis Matos is supposed to be the guy. He didn't really have the greatest years. Tyler Fitzgerald didn't really become the guy. Casey Schmidt showed flashes. You know, there's a few guys out there you expect your young guys that you develop to kind of come on the scene. The only guy that's really done so has been Ramos. Other than that, it's
but you explain something to me, and maybe Eric, you can you'll know, because I mean, we follow the Giants around here, but it's interesting how he's portraying this, Eric. We talk about all these young guys who get a chance to play and they blossom up in Sacramento. And I like watching. They're exciting. It's at my age, I've always said on the show, Booney, that when I go to the ballpark, and I know this irks the fan base and our chat, and maybe Eric, I'm not sure, but how many times, Eric, have I said, I can come home from a game and we lose the game 3-2, and I go, what a game. I got my money. That was awesome, even though we lost. But some people, they could see the worst game they've ever seen, but we won. I want to see good baseball, an exciting game, a memory. That's what we talk about, making memories. But the fact, what is it? He threw out those names, Eric. Fitzgerald. And, Schmidt, for example.
Matos, yeah.
Schmidt last year and Ramos the year before. These guys in Sacramento are young. Coming up, they're playing, Eric. Booney, the problem with the Giants is all these guys who have any semblance of success as young players, they're here by necessity. Ramos only got his shot in the major leagues because somebody was hurt. This year, the only reason you got to see Schmidt play when he did was because of injury and necessity.
Because Fitzgerald
we really don't have much of a farm system, in my opinion.
Let's not forget. Remember, in the MLB, when they were ranking they rank all the positions, they had Fitzgerald as the 7th ranked second baseman in all the MLB. 7th. Yeah. And what happened?
You're fired.
He was done. He was done. And they had to piece it together. They did. I mean, I tell you what, Schmidt, the combination of Schmidt and Koss at second base, that was kind of fun there at the end. I kind of like that. But to your point, yes, I mean, some of these young guys they have to come through, because not every position can be a free agent. It's impossible. So you got to pick and choose, right? You got to pick
and that's
choose.
Every ball club, right? That's
exactly. Unless you're the Dodgers.
Oh, yeah.
Unless you're the Dodgers. Tell me, how many homegrown they got? They got Will Smith, Andy Pages, Emmett Sheehan, and that's it.
Yeah, Eric, but due respect, the rest of that lineup, that massive all-star lineup, it's all based on the young guys they've dealt away.
Yes, it is. No, absolutely. They use them as capital. I've said that. Yes.
So that is the capital that gained them this franchise.
That's a fact. They use, and look, would you be surprised if DePaula gets traded this offseason? Nope. Would not be surprised. Would not be surprised.
That's why it's interesting, Eric, when you brought up about who's the scouting staff and who's finding these young guys. Why is it that teams like Sacramento, Tampa, Miami, they always have these players that end up coveted by other teams, but we just can't find them ourselves, Eric?
Well, I'll tell you, there's something coming. And Booney, you may know about this. Last year in the international draft, Josar comes from was it? I think he's Dominican Republic. I think was the number one. Look, well, if it wasn't for Roki Sasaki, he would have been the number one international prospect. This year, the Giants are in line to sign Luis Hernandez. Guy's 18, or the kid is like, well, no, he's 17, maybe going to be close to 18. This kid, oh my God, this kid could be something. So you got two of these guys from the international draft. They're young. But hey, we might see them in the next couple of years, and that's okay, because I'd like to see the Giants. If you're not going to hit on the domestic draft, well, then hit on the international. That's what the damn Dodgers have been doing. They've been hitting on the damn, of course, the Japanese. They own the Japanese, or the freaking island of Japan. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how this pans out. So the future, to a certain extent, looks a little bit bright for the Giants, but you still got to go out and look. Posey had his first draft. Signed a bunch of contact guys, low strikeout. Maybe that works out. We'll see. Again, it's building through the draft takes time.
And one thing the Giants one thing you got to give the Giants credit for, we've talked about it how many times, Eric? We, I think, did one show way back when he was signed. Remember the night, I believe it was the night he was signed. We did a bit of we were showing video. They've really taken their international stuff to the next level. That training.
Oh,
is that the Dominican one?
Yeah, it's in the
that is state of the art. So they invested in getting talent from there at a young age.
Yes, 100%. Hey, Senior wants to talk DeVries, because that was a big trade you guys did at the trade deadline.
Yeah, that was just, getting Leo DeVries in that trade, it was just an absolute steal. I get what the Padres were doing, and I think they make the right decision with regard to trading a prospect, because, like we talked about earlier, prospects are exactly what they are. They're prospects. You want proven Major League Baseball players. Yes. I think where the Padres made a mistake is I think they could have avoided getting somebody like Mason Miller, kept DeVries, and traded a bunch of prospects and got somebody like David Bednar. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They didn't need to get Mason Miller and give up DeVries, but DeVries right now is the real deal. And for me, as far as the A's fan, that was just a no-brainer. When you are rebuilding, the last thing you want to keep is a closer. You don't keep a Ferrari in the garage. You never use them. You're always behind in games. So
Miller was the prize, though, and a lot of GMs go in for all that, right? He was the prize.
Yeah, he was the prize. But DeVries, like I said,
that's huge. Now he's going to be is he going to be the catcher of the future? Is that what it's going to be?
No, shortstop. He's going to be a shortstop. He's supposed to be exactly like a Francisco Lindor is the comp on him.
Is he a switch hitter?
Yeah.
Where's
he? Both sides. He'll be 19 years old next year.
Wow. Yeah. What's he been looking like in the minors? I haven't really looked.
He started off slow. When he got going, he tore up the playoffs in Double-A. Hits for power, hits for average, steals bases, plays a smooth shortstop. Will probably start the year in Double-A at 19 years old. See how he progresses. If he progresses, go up to Triple-A. If he bangs, hey, why not? But as long as they're hitting, my whole thing is, if they're hitting the lower levels, why not advance them? If they're not, take your time with them. Let them develop on their own.
Right. So you think he makes an appearance next year, or you think he gets a cup of coffee at the end of this year? I should say at 26.
It all depends. If he's hitting, for sure, they'll bring him up. If he's hitting, for sure. If he's not overmatched, which I don't think he will be, they'll bring him up. No question.
How's his glove? Is he going to be a shortstop?
Smooth.
Yeah.
Smooth.
So so where do you move?
Wilson goes to second.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah.
Because right now, who's your second baseman right now? Wasn't it Urias, or was that third?
We got a bunch of we got like this guy and that guy, a utility guy here, and Daryl Hernandez is supposed to be playing it. Zach Geloff was supposed to be the guy in 2023. He's fallen off. So we're a little jungled up in the infield. So he would be ideal for that change. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, DeVries is a real deal. DeVries is the real deal.
You know what, Eric? Something I want to, before I forget, and you can jump back into this, but I know I'll forget at the end of the show because this goes off topic. So Eric's been to a game up there, and I haven't. Eric's been down to San Francisco, and we've gone to some games together. He goes with some of his other friends, and he's got many. Believe me, he's got many. I'm sitting at Oracle Park.
Come on, man.
And I kid you not, Eric. I'm just giving you credit. I'm sitting at Oracle Park, and then there are a bunch of podcasters sitting together, and all night, one little boy comes down. He goes, "Is that Eric from Giant Sports Talk Live?" Well, what the hell am I? So we had a great night. That's another story. You've probably heard of that. We got front row seats. The fans identified with Eric. It was great to see. That's awesome. But quickly, in a nutshell, take me through a game in Sacramento. Eric's got some background. I don't. Talk about the fan experience, the stadium. Give me it in a nutshell.
It's a spring training game on steroids.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's good. I like it.
On steroids. Okay. Yeah. A packed spring training game on steroids. It has that feel. It has that vibe. With that being said, it had its moments where you could feel it's turning. You remember we lost 20-21 in May.
Yeah, that was rough.
And it was tough. We're out of the race before the race even began, so it was hard to get it going. With regard to the attendance, you hear is a little misleading, and what I mean by that, it has 10,000 seats, okay, and then you have 4,000 lawn seats. Well, shit. You know what? I'm not sitting on the freaking lawn. So if you're going to say that 10,000 and then they're only getting 9,000 out of 14,000, I mean, that's according to the attendance.
Wild. Those are the same specs as the stadium here in Winnipeg.
Yeah.
Wow.
But
all right. And what's the atmosphere and the attitude knowing, and we've seen it at the major league level when the A's, the A's were going to be somewhere else. And all of a sudden, I mean, it was bad attendance to begin with. Then it got to be like brutally bad. Yeah. So what's the feeling in people's minds now, knowing that this may not be a long-term project?
The A's haven't done themselves any favors with regard to media relations, not taking the Sacramento name.
Right.
That's been something that's always gone on with this damn franchise. When we were in the East Bay, in Walnut Creek and stuff like that, I still remember there was a Giants dugout in Walnut Creek and McCovey's. The Giants took over the East Bay. The A's have always done an awful job with media relations and connecting with the community. It had their ownership. The biggest criticism, yes, is everything you're talking about as far as spending and this, but they have been out of touch with reality. And they have been out of touch of their fan base and what's going on in the backyard. So that's my biggest criticism. And that has not stopped since they have been in Sacramento. Okay. They have done an awful job of it. They play in West Sacramento has Old Town Sacramento, which is a 10-15 minute walk, which is a great place to have a meal, to have some drinks, and no one knows about it. They don't even advertise anything around the ballpark. It is, like I said, it is going to a spring training game on steroids.
I got it. Eric,
I enjoy it. I loved it.
Listen, Eric, isn't he beating a drum that's very similar to, you can say all the good things you want about San Francisco. How many times have Lou and I debated that very topic with you, Eric, that the Giants don't promote the surrounding business area? There's no tailgate, like where they built across the water there, McCovey Cove. It was all about building.
It could be something absolutely.
They got the big berm there on the other side. It's all grassy. They don't do nothing. People show up, people go home. Yep. And that's disappointing. Plus, when you're talking about whether it's Oakland and maybe the similar situation up there in Sacramento, I can only go by your word. But it's a revolving door, isn't it? Baseball's for the fans. And if you build it for the fans, they spend money. And when they spend money, the owner makes money.
Sure. Absolutely.
Come on. 100%. So time to get the right people in those positions. Eric, did you send a resume? Booney, get over there. I'll endorse Booney. And I just met the guy. I'm already endorsing him tonight, Eric.
The whole thing, the biggest misconception with regard to the A's moving now, okay? They didn't want to go to Sacramento. Now, the lease negotiations, in order to stay at the Coliseum, the mayor, by the way, the mayor of Oakland, former mayor who's indicted on federal charges that no one really knows about around the country, was the lead negotiator. What she wanted a few times. First of all, the lease, 3-year lease, was supposed to be about $20 million a year to squat at the Coliseum. They wanted the rights to the Athletics name, and they wanted to be guaranteed a franchise when franchise were announced. MLB wasn't going to agree to that, and the ownership rightfully was not going to give up the Athletics name. So, Mayor Tao thought she had pocket aces, had 2-7 offsuit. She didn't have much bargaining power, and she thought she did. And that's what pushed the A's to Sacramento. Was not that they just decided to pick up and leave. They kind of weren't left much of a choice. If you and I were given that deal, we're like, hang on a second. That's a little rough. I didn't like them going to Sacramento. I didn't like the move from the beginning. It is what it is. At the end of the day, it's baseball. It's beyond powers that we can't control. You're right, Glenn. We haven't spent. We haven't invested in the team. There's a whole lot we have not done. And, it's why the franchise is not liked. It's why a lot of people don't like playing for them. And the ownership, the criticism they have received is just. They deserve it.
And it's an old adage. You got to spend money to make money.
Yep.
And really I'm going to tell you something right now. For those of you in the chat, if you want to catch an A's game next year, it honestly, I like what you said about the old Sacramento. We park in old Sacramento. And it's only a 10-minute walk, and it's awesome. You got your choices of where you want to go eat. You could go underneath the freaking freeway, and there's plenty of places over there for, where you're walking towards the Golden One Center, places to eat over there. Dude, it's awesome. Honestly, it really
invited
is.
Next year. Can I come up?
Absolutely, dude. Anytime. As a matter of fact, we did have you one, but it was. I think you had something going on. Remember,
dude? I always have something going on.
You always got. I think you had a concert or something that night. They're like, "Come on!"
Got
You're
concerts, everything. I got so much work-related stuff right now. It's crazy. I took 1 week off, which became 2. Almost, I didn't come back for 10 days, and then, I thought Eric replaced me tonight. Jeez.
Oh my gosh! But I'm telling you,
I had fun at the game. It's about 10.
Good.
Off season though, man. I tell you, as a baseball fan, and especially if you got a team, and I feel bad for you, Booney, because the A's usually. Yeah. I mean, hey, you guys signed Severino last year. I was surprised. I did not see that one coming.
We had to. We overpaid the hell out of him too. Yeah. So
do you think? Okay, real quick. Do you think he's had some bounce back year, or do you think he's still pissed off playing in?
I think Severino is who Severino is. I don't think Severino's a number one guy. Right. He is who he is. He's going to have his great outings where he looks unhittable, and then he's going to have a couple outings where he goes 3 innings and gives up 7 runs on 10 hits and gets absolutely shelled. Severino is who Severino is. On a championship, on a playoff team, he's a number 4 guy. He's a number 5 guy. He's been in the spotlight before. He can pitch, but in no means is he a $22 million a year guy, and by no means is he an ace. If he is your ace on your staff, you got problems.
He has a big home road splits, right? The home and road splits are huge.
Huge. I mean, for him complaining, I get it. People are like, hey, I'm just saying what's on my mind. Well, they didn't surprise you with where they were going last year. You knew where you were signing.
Right.
I mean, you went there because the next largest bidder was offering you 2 years, $34 million. The A's were giving you 3 years, $66 with a player option, which I'm sure he's already optioned into.
Yeah, there you go.
I always say to Eric, though, dude, if I was the ball player, and I know money talks, I'm going to go where I'm happy and comfortable. I'm not going to go. If I get $22 million, Eric, I'll spot you $1 million and I can still live quite comfortably. I don't see these players who sign and then they got to go and they know, oh my God, I'm locked in for 2 years in this, wherever I'm at. So I don't understand players that do that.
I tell you this much, for as much as I dislike the Dodgers, the credit I will give them, and I think the Giants are starting to get to that rate. They have built an incredible culture with the with the guys leading. People want to be there. They want to be part of it. They want to be part of the winner. You get to work, you smell the air, it smells good. I'm sure you guys have had jobs in your past. When you get to the office, you're freaking dreading it. I can't stand going into this office and seeing whoever, at the front desk versus being at a job you really, really like and enjoying it. It makes a difference. And the Dodgers
winning makes it enjoyable too, Booney. Winning makes it enjoyable.
Winning helps. And and I say this all the time. Booney, I say this all the time, and I'm making it simple, right? Spend money, you win, you make more money. It's pretty simple, no? But for some reason, some people don't understand. But hey, we're talking off season. It's been
a lot of those big
times.
Contracts. Eric, what you just said is so true. Those big contracts. We haven't really broken it down in detail, but you look at a guy like Ohtani. I mean, my God, you pay off his contract 2 years in merch sales and overseas ticket buys. And the advertising dollars it brings in. He's probably paid off in probably 200 games.
Exactly. Yeah. Hey, I tell you what, talking about.
And I give credit to the Giants, Booney. Eric, I talked about it wasn't last show. I don't know how we got onto the Dodgers, but I said, whoa. And when there's 5 whoas, it's going to be deep, right, Eric? I said, got to give the Dodgers credit. Got to give them credit for what they've done. And now the fact, like Booney said, guys want to go play there. And they've set themselves up so beautifully that they can pick. They've got so many good players. We were talking the other day about, what if they bring in like a star pitcher? There's rumors, pitchers are going to be moving, quite possibly.
Yeah.
And then, we got people in the chat. Oh, but they're already lined. They got pitching. I go, you land one of those pitchers, and then you deal with that later. And they're in that situation. They can get rid of guys, bring guys in, and that's what makes a successful franchise is not being afraid to throw some laundry out to bring in the new suit, man.
I tell you what,
got to keep it fresh.
How about the Giants just do this? Come on, let's go. Come on. Wow. There we go. Why not, huh? I love doing it. I do this on the off season, Booney. I always put together these hype videos.
Well, we like it, Eric, but you know how many T-shirts I've got, right? With Charlie on the front, and he's the baseball guy. Do you like that idea? Should we bring in Tucker?
I tell you this much, guys.
He's all in on. Yep. He wants Tucker, so
I wouldn't rather have two guys leading those negotiations and selling somebody than a first bout Hall of Famer like Buster Posey and the energy of Vitello, a new manager. I think I got his name right.
Yeah, Vitello. Hey, maybe if Vitello could get Tucker here, then all my hate for Vitello will disappear.
Plus, hate is strong word already. They got guys in.
They're
underestimating Vitello.
Buster's creating a culture where these guys, they've never been able to get him. maybe now there is a reason to go to San Francisco. They're getting guys, they're getting ball players now, Adamas and Devers, and they're building something.
Hey, and on top of that, this is going to be round 2, by the way, just so you guys got fair notice. If you pay for Tucker, the hell with it, man. Trade for this guy.
As I said before, we're most definitely open to trying to add some arms that we think are going to help us on the starting side.
Hell not. Trade Eldridge for Skubal and pay freaking Kyle, man. Why not?
I think it's going to take Webb, Eldridge.
Yeah. I know.
Rodriguez, a couple other prospects, and then you got to re-sign the guy to $1 billion, 10 years.
I tell you. And
everybody in Australia, JB, Tigers aren't trading Skubal. Well, JB, let me tell you something.
It'd be
lunacy, idiotic if they don't. Because we've been down that road as Giants fans too, holding a guy and holding a guy, and then Eric, what do we got now for them? Nothing. I got it right this time.
But that with John Lester and Matt Holliday.
We held on to Snell. We held on to Snell. Eric and I doing the show that afternoon. I go, he's going. He got to be right. It's going to the 11th hour. We were like a minute to go. I go, it's coming any minute. And they held on to my idea. What are we doing here?
Yeah, you knew he was going to walk. Come on. The only reason why he took
especially after that second half of the season, he just tore it up, man. Because the first half, you thought he was going to opt into that second year. The second half, forget about it.
Yeah.
Terrible.
So, absolutely. Question for you guys. Is there going to be a strike?
Yes.
You think so?
I hate to say that, man. I really – right? Unless – I mean, they said they're starting preliminary talks. So hopefully, maybe, but man, I don't know. You know, you got the owners pushing for this cap, and the players union, they ain't gonna go for it, man. Yeah. Maybe it's become a little bit more punitive as far as the CBT. Maybe that's the way around it. I don't know, but
Booney, I'm in the minority here. I have said, and the guys geez, Marcus had it out with me one night. Geez, we're gonna go like this. We're gonna get the gloves on. Sonny Liston time. But I keep saying that as a sport and a business, these two things are colliding and players are so overpaid. Where are we going with this? I think a cap, I think they've got to. They got basically that's what it means. You got to cap this. Stop this.
Yeah,
or we'll never compete. I'm sorry. The A's aren't competing with the Dodgers if they don't. The Giants, I don't even think the Giants have, Eric, all we've done is last year, other than the trade, we brought in Adamas, right? So they haven't shown me that they're going out spending all kinds of money other than as far as picking up free agents. So how are we going to compete with the Dodgers, the big boys, without a cap? I think it creates an interference in baseball.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I don't see a cap happening, and here's the reason why. In 94, a precedent was already set in federal court, right? When they went to court in 1994, the judge ruled against the owners and for the players for no cap. And if it goes to that edge again,
there's precedent. You ain't going to bust that precedent.
You're not going to precedent. What I think is going to happen is this. I think right now it's all posturing. You got a lot of other issues going on, such as luxury tax. The owners want expanded playoffs. They want rule changes power. They want revenue sharing adjustments. They want a higher luxury tax, international draft. They want about 7 other issues. I think all the other 7 issues, if the owners get that, they will cave on the no cap. And hey, the players will look like they won because they got the big thing, but the owners got everything else to kind of make up for that salary cap. I hope that's what happens. That's what I'm kind of putting my hope on. We'll see.
Hey, look at Armand first to jump in on that comment because, of course, your owner owns like the Brinks Foundation. Jesus.
And here's another thing. You think this? We talked a little bit about this in the green room, Booney. Do you think they do something with these deferments? Because that's
a big deal. You made a great point on that. I think if you're gonna offer that type of money, a certain amount has to get paid out. You're right.
Yes, you can't just pay $1 million a year on a $700 million contract. Again, the Ohtani effect. That's not fair. I'm sorry. You want to talk about fair? That's not fair. You can't be doing that. If you're going to offer a player a certain amount of money, whatever that is, you better be paying a significant chunk of it every year. And I'm not against deferrals. I'm just against the extreme use of them. I mean, that's what makes it quote unquote. Because look, if the Dodgers had to pay 60 or 50 million a year, do you think they went out there and got Yamamoto and Blake Snell and Tyler Glasnow?
Nope.
No, they wouldn't have.
No,
they would have been elsewhere. And we're talking about a different type of glove. And look,
plus, you got to again give the Dodgers credit because they did it. They came up with this idea, and again, they're going to make so. Can you imagine at the end of his contract, all of the not just 700, if you took all the money that he garners the Dodgers, and they put that in investment, the investment pays his contract. They're just investing the money,
right?
I don't know what they're going to do. But again, I asked Eric this question the other night. Maybe I should ask Booney, Eric. You came up with an answer. I thought this is a weird situation this year because with this impending walkout, lockout, strike, whatever happens, are teams going to go all in, sign guy, or is it going to be a little posture? Whoa, maybe not till afterwards. I think teams, and if you're going to get one of these deals like the Ohtani deal done, you do it now.
Yeah, I'm with you. And that's the only thing I'm thinking is that what has to be going through the player's mind is like, hey, what's going to be happening post this potential lockout? What things are going to change? And again, I talked about it a little bit earlier with regards to the Roman Anthony type of deal. We haven't seen one of those deals in a long time where someone bought out the pre-ARB years, the ARB years, and extended them 10 years down the line. Are we going to see more contracts like that this offseason to extend guys? Because we don't know what's going to happen with regard to what's going on after, or do they just hold out and wait? It's a good point you make. I don't know. I don't know the answer.
Are you a long-term kind of guy? If you sign a guy, are you okay with, all right, like Chapman for 6 years? I thought that was too long. I think 5 is my max. 6 is getting 7, 8, and because I look back at Pujols. Pujols was it was the golden goose.
They signed the 10 years.
He really did nothing when they paid him. The guys who get their money seem they don't produce, right? Especially in the back end of a contract. So I'm wishy-washy on it. You're really paying them double for each of the first 2 or 3 or 4 seasons because they ain't earning it in the back half.
Yeah, no, you're right. But that's the whole thing with the negotiation. That's what the players want is that long-term money. But yeah, you're talking maybe a 5-year, $100 million deal instead of a 20-year. I see what you're saying. 10-year, 50, whatever it may be.
All these things about baseball. As a business owner myself, I see the players getting so much money, and then look, what other job? I mean, we're not talking trades, but I'm trying to make a point. If you've got a guy, if you're working for me, Booney, and I say, all right, now I have 11 radio stations, and I say, I'm going to put you on my country station. You're going to be my morning guy. I'm hooking you up with this girl. You guys are the team on the mornings because you got a great set of pipes, by the way. And you come into my office and say, nope, I demand I can only work on your 80s or your classic rock station. I say, well, there's the door. Like the players are getting so much like control, if you will. They come home to roost and they go, here's what I want tomorrow and next year. Or these, I have no trades except to the Yankees or Blue Jays. Like you're going where I'm trading you. I'm more of a hardball guy. And I think the players have it too good now.
They do.
It's their union, man. And look, it ain't going to change. Hey, guys, a few trades have gone down and a free agent, right? I want to get your thoughts on this, Booney. Josh Naylor signed a 5-year.
Oh, God, what a steal, man.
Yeah, I was saying that was cheap, man.
5 years, 92.
And does that set a precedence? That's early on this process.
Oh, my God.
I know.
For
Usually they
order slugger for a championship team.
Yes, and remember last year Kikuchi signed and it blew the pitching market out of the water. He signed for like what, $15 million. I'm like, Kikuchi?
But maybe he's happy, Eric. Maybe Naylor went there. He got a taste of it. They had a good run. Maybe he's happy. See, he took the money. The guy's rich. I mean,
and then
I would never want to play in a bad team. If the Mariners offer me $100 million, I'm going to Seattle, hon. Let's go. Pack the bags.
And then we got Grayson Rodriguez going to the Angels for freaking. That was nuts, dude.
Health issues. So that, you know what?
Yeah, that's true. He's got a bad arm.
Both teams, one of them's going to be a winner and maybe one a loser.
But
or
you
maybe
got
do well.
3-4 years left of team control for Rodriguez and 1 year left with Ward. So
now he's got a cranky arm, so maybe I don't know if that has some. And then
that's
you got
the question, right? So you're getting somebody kind of cheap with team control. If he turns out to who they hope to be, you're getting a real bargain there. Taylor Ward kind of is who he is.
Hey, and how about the Braves? The Braves have been making some noise. Not big stuff.
Oh my God, the trade
look what they did
for Dubon.
Yes, they got Dubon for Nick Allen.
Jesus.
That's unbelievable. And then let's not forget, they already put their coaching staff is done. They got people. Look, JP Martinez, the pitching coach for the Giants, is now their bullpen coach. Neffer, the pitching coach for the Mets, who used to be for the pitching coach for is now with the Braves. I can't remember who their bench coach is off the hand. But then they also signed Iglesias back. So Iglesias is coming back on a 1 year. So they got Dubon, they got their closer. Look, the Braves are not going to be what the Braves were last year. They're going to be better this year.
Yeah.
So I'm impressed. Again, they're not big deals, but they're good deals. So I've been intrigued. What do you guys think of that?
Awesome. I thought that was an awesome steal. I mean, you talk about the best super utility guy in baseball.
Yeah. Plays the infield, plays the outfield.
Does everything.
Pretty good.
Does it well.
And he won a gold glove, right?
Yeah.
He's got a gold glove caliber. He's got a glove. That's something. And is he going to be their shortstop?
Who do they got playing shortstop? I think he will be their shortstop.
I think I think Nick Allen was the shortstop because Ozzie Albies is the second baseman.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Armand popped in, Eric, once again. He's our statistic. You know, one of those stats and financials and who is ranked 25th in Atlanta's organization. He's your guy. Dubon is in the last year of arbitration. Nick Allen is in the first year of arbitration. So the Astros cutting payroll. It kind of bleeds
that's kind of what the A's did recently with Blade. They DFA'd
him. That's right.
$2.2 million is due. I mean, that's the same thing with Dubon. I mean, you're talking about $5.7 million. He's doing arbitration, I believe. That's not a lot in the whole.
That's not a lot. And why would you do that,
Eric? Another one the Giants let slip away.
Yeah, they did. They traded him.
They did.
Papirski. Freaking Papirski, man. You traded Dubon, and look. Yeah, he was.
What did they get for Dubon?
I think it was for Papirski. I'm almost positive. If I'm wrong, guys in the chat, let me know. Right? Wasn't it Dubon for Papirski? I'm almost positive that's what it was. Oh my gosh, dude! And then again, because he had a couple of flubs on the base pads. Again, it happens. He was a young player.
He's young.
They had him playing all over the damn place. Oh man, dude.
Yeah, but then Ramos bobbles 27 balls out there in the outfield. That's okay.
Yeah. We'll see what happens.
Two-time Gold Glover. Eric, how many times is that really? If you go back in the annals of the Giants, we've been a thing in our age group. Dude, so many good players.
On Kim, he's a free agent. He is. He's a free agent, so
he's going to. I think he's going to the Yankees, but we'll see.
Probably.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah. Maybe he'll be a Giant.
Oh, did you hear? There may be a reunion before we get out of here. We're going a little bit long, but
I was just settling in. You guys started early, so we got to stay.
Yeah. We're 20 minutes in. Bellinger may have a reunion with the Dodgers. Maybe
they're talking about that as well. I think he stays in New York, though. We'll be surprised.
I think he'd be smart too.
Yes, likes that short porch.
Did you guys talk earlier in the show about the guys who've already accepted the qualifying offers?
We did not.
Oh no, we have not. How about that, Imanaga?
Yeah,
guys in our chat was talking about trade, or not trades, but sign these guys. Well, they're all going back to their old teams.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then
20 million.
What's his name from the Yankees? Grisham.
Yeah,
Grisham.
and Torres went back to the Tigers.
Yeah, and Imanaga is going to go back.
Really, none of that surprises me, Eric. Or
no,
really doesn't.
Yeah,
you think Imanaga has some bad taste in his mouth because the Cubs did deny the. Didn't they deny the club option and gave him a qualifying hour or something like that? Isn't that how it worked out? Something to that effect?
Well, it can't be as bad as J.D. Davis. Now, that would be a sour taste, They screwed him over what?
They did screw him on that one, yeah. That was all farhand
money.
That was all farhand, 100%.
Now he's making his big bucks. He's playing.
Oh, yeah, Woodruff. I forgot Woodruff. He'll be staying in Milwaukee.
He signed Davis because of that. J.D. Davis, and I remember that in 2000.
So when's Booney coming down to a game with us here? Well,
there you go.
Maybe
you're actually in the Bay Area, right?
Yeah, I'm in San Mateo. I'm down the road from you, Glenn.
You're in San Mateo?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, geez, I go over to San Mateo all the time.
Wow,
there you go.
I love San Mateo, and if you ask my wife on a game show, they put me in the soundproof booth, and they say, "All right, your first question. If Glenn wants to go and spend a nice day with you or a romantic day, where would it be?" She knows the answer is Daly City.
God.
Freaking love Daly City.
Joe.
You can shop. You can shop on the top of the hill, and you can shop at the bottom of the hill. You drive on the highway, Eric. It's the only time in my life I've seen the Target sign on this side of the highway and the Target sign on this side of the highway. And then I always go to the Outback Steakhouse just up from the mall.
Oh, you don't go to Westlake Joe's there?
Hmm?
Joe's Westlake in Daly City?
I've been there.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been there. Yeah. Every time my wife takes me over there, it's always, can we go to Outback Steakhouse? You got coupons? El Cheapo?
Oh, man.
But anyway, I didn't know you were so close to me. So I live, as the crow flies, I live across the street or diagonal from the Caltrain station.
Okay.
Yeah, big blue building at the, when you come off the off ramp?
Yeah. Yeah.
You get off, you get to the ramp and you turn.
Wow.
That's me. Yeah. So I love being there.
You know what? Maybe we'll do that. Maybe
in the State Center down the road.
I haven't gone to a Giant. I used to go all the time. Growing up in San Mateo, all my friends, all Giants fans. So I've been
the Giants. How about I'll take you to a Valkyries game next year. We'll call it a day.
There you go.
I get the abuse because I'm a Valkyries season. I love women's basketball, and that you talk about having a channel. That league is drama. They can't get their negotiations going. Oh my God.
I do like women's hoops in the sense where it's slow enough where you could kind of see the sets and the plays develop, where it's just it's good basketball, and they allow a lot of the physicalness to take place.
Oh, dude, it's more physical than the NBA.
Correct. And it's not so easy to score, and every game means something. Right now, NBA is a bad product, in my opinion.
I don't watch the NBA, but I watch women's hoops. I watch I like college. Same thing, women's college ball I like, but I got in on the WNBA the season before, watched a lot of the games, and a lot was driven by Caitlin Clark. And then I started following the other teams, watching the Minnesota Lynx, and I like Nafisa Collier, and there's certain players on every team I like. But then when the Valkyries come in, I said, Bernice, we should get season tickets. And the next day, that's why I love my wife. I said, what's this? Open up the package. 2 season tickets. I'm like, that's my girl. So, yeah, she's a big sports fan, and I'll have you over to a game.
Next year, we should go do a damn Giants game, like April, May, somewhere around there.
Sure.
Talk to Lou. We'll talk to Lou. The 4 of us will go. Got to get him those seats, Eric.
Oh, my God. Booney, you'd be spoiled, man. I tell you, it's freaking awesome. It's awesome. It's a good time.
Booney's probably seen the show enough to know. I mean, I'm talking to Eric. So he knows this is not total BS, which I am, quite capable of spinning once in a while. Tell him about what happened at the game. After there's the kid on the N or the J. We
went out to Longbridge Pizza, right? We had a big group together. It was actually, I went to go meet Los, a good friend. I went to meet him over there, and I saw Aaron Loss. He's in the chat. Awesome guy. Fresh, baked that dough cookies. We were all there. It is right. There's Aaron. There's me. There's Glenn. That's at Longbridge Pizza. So afterwards, we got on the train and we headed back to the park because we were gonna meet up.
What night was it?
It was Harry Potter night. So we're on the train, right? And one of the people that were there was also going to the game. It was a son and his father, and his son was dressed up in, I think it was Gryffindor.
He was dressed as Harry.
Yeah. And he had a little magic wand. And what is Glenn? He grabs the wand. He's like, oh, actually, I shouldn't say he grabbed it. Can I see your wand? He grabbed it. He goes, hocus pocus.
I grabbed it.
I hope Flores hits a home run. Some shit like that, right? So we get off. We go to the ballpark, right? Great. It was me and Glenn and Lou and Dan, and we had a great time. Great time. What happens? Well, first off, he calls it. Glenn calls it.
I stood up and told everyone within shouting. I go,
going to hit a home run.
Next pitch. He's going yard. Next pitch. Next. And I'm standing there. And I mean, Adames is looking at me. And then
the trainer
pitch,
looked at you.
Gone. Yeah. Gone. So what ended up happening was Adames comes over. He's like, holy crap. And then when he circled the bases, he comes in and Adames grabs him. He's like, he called the shot. So these boys get up to go for, I think, some cold adult refreshments, wobbly pops. And then Adames says, it was like my Mean Joe Green moment. He goes, hey, kid.
Hey, kid.
Yeah. That is great. That is awesome. Great.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Threw me the ball, and we had a hell of a time.
It was so much fun, man. Really.
It was.
That was a really,
we beat the Cubs. It was good baseball, good friends. It was just a perfect night.
Yeah.
And the weather. Remember, Eric? He didn't need a hoodie.
No.
I think I went
getting hot.
Oh, no, usually I need the hoodie or a sweatshirt under the jersey. Like, it was perfect October weather in like July, August. It was.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That is awesome.
Good times.
That is classic.
Right. Hey, Booney, thanks for popping on for a while, man. That was good stuff. We'll have to have you on again. If there's any big news or anything, we'll have to have you come on and we can talk.
Appreciate you guys having me.
Well, I don't think it's going to be a great year for Booney next year, Eric. It's not going to be a good year for you, Booney. The only thing that Sacramento A's have with baseball, Eric, the only thing I can think of that comes to mind is they need a lot of that.
Hey,
at least it's green.
Hey, we do. We'll have a lot of fun, though, watching the game.
So do we.
All right, guys. Hey, we'll see you back here Friday night. Should be a lot of fun, and we'll do it all over again. Again, Booney, thanks.
Soon.
Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate you. Take care, fellas.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
You've been watching Giant Sports Talk Live with Eric and Glenn, a Northern Lights Entertainment Broadcasting production.